would bring that back, sir?
We need deterrence. Look, ready? When somebody comes here illegally, they're going out. It's very simple. When they come here illegally, they're going out.
That's kind of my stance too, guys. Like, and again, I know it is divisive. I know it's kind of incendiary to think or say, but understand this. It's like, how do we detract people from doing that? How do we deter people, I should say, from doing that? If there's no consequence of people illegally migrating, all for migrating over here, but illegally migrating, coming in through the back door and knowing that the only thing they have to do is have a baby or two to be able to stay here, then you pull on the heartstrings of American citizens and try and play on compassion and stay over here based on, you know, you having a baby. It is kind of just like, okay, well, we have to deter people from doing that. We got to kill that whole thing. No, you can't come over here and have a baby and stay. We're going to separate, or we're not going to separate, but we're going to deport you and your baby. And that's just how it's got to be. That's the only way that's the only way that we're going to be able to keep that enforced, is by being low-key pretty strict on it.
Yeah, if you have no legitimacy here, then I'm sorry, you got to go. And like I said, we can't have a bleeding heart for everybody now, especially the criminals, or especially the ones that came in here illegally, but you want everybody to stay, and you had a kid here, you want to say, oh, I don't want to be separated from my kids, so you should let us stay in America. We'll be like, no, but you can go back to Mexico.
And think about it. If you know that's all you have to do is come over here, have a baby, and you get to stay, then everybody's going to be doing it, guys.
All right. Oh, and I just posted the call-in link in the community tab. It's going to be your first post in the community tab. And then I also posted it in our, Don's got it in the Discord. Shout out.
Now, if they come here illegally, but their family is here legally, then the family has a choice. The person that came in illegally can go out, or they can all go out together.
So,
and that was made very clear by Tom Homan.
So you're not, at this point in time, planning to revive that zero tolerance policy where kids are
well, if you call
separated.
that, yeah, I'm doing what I just told you I'm going to do. You know, I don't want to send the family out. I don't want to send anybody out. But I'll tell you, we have to, because otherwise we have no country. If we don't have borders, and if we don't have voting, good voting, fair voting, do you know they're still counting votes in San?
And I feel like this would be a perfect time to kind of get her take on this. We got Jazz, work from home, joining in on the call. How you feeling, Jazz?
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing?
Pretty good. How you doing, girl?
I'm doing good. Finally, the truck has stopped. I think I have better reception. I tried to call in last time. And, yeah, I was cutting in and out.
Yeah, we hear you pretty clearly over here. Hopefully you being safe on the road. Shout out Jazz, keeping the logistics going. But did you have a take on this topic? How you feel about, separating families, people coming over here, having an anchor baby, hoping that lets them stay? How you feel about all that?
I feel like we got to do it legally, because we can't go over to another country and try to sneak in. Like, there's countries where they'll chop your hand off for doing something like that. So if the other countries are not being lenient with us doing it, why are we doing it as a, United States? Like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to get citizenship here, as long as you do it the legal way, because you have other people that are on waiting lists. They have to take tests. They have to do some things, to get in here legally. And just people in.
Costs a lot of money, a long process. You might get in, you might not get in. So it is kind of disrespectful to the people who've been trying to get legal citizenship 5, 10, 15 years, and you sneaking in the back door. But how you feel about, separating families and stuff like that? Do you feel like send them all back together, or let the kids stay and let the parent get deported?
I'm gonna kind of say I might have mixed feelings on it, but I definitely think sending them back together. I definitely understand that it's not the child's fault. They obviously, they can't do anything about their parents making a decision to have them here, legally. But I think, just, as if you're gonna have to go back as a family. Like, you want your kids to get, separated. Like, I was looking at that video you guys were showing where they left that poor kid at the border. Like, that was messed up.
Right.
Like, you think to be that young and to be left somewhere, you don't know where the hell you are, and, the people you was with, they just like, oh, sorry, can't carry you no more. So, yeah, I definitely think they should definitely stay with the family. But some people... Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say it sounds harsh, but how else do you deter the next group of people from thinking that's all I got to do? Come to America, have me a baby or two, and I'm good. It sounds
I was
harsh,
just
but we got to keep the rules the rules.
yeah. Yeah. There's some people that do that on purpose. They'll wait till they know they about to have a baby, and they'll come over into the United States, have that child because they know that they
That's
can stay.
wild. That's wild. But yeah, you're not lying. You're not lying. And like I say, for everybody who's coming over here with good intentions, they looking to, add to society, get a piece of the American dream. There's 5 to 10 people who are just trying to finesse the system.
And it is crazy because oh no, I say it is crazy because people gotta have like, well, a reason to be over here, like education, work wise. You're just coming over for the hell of it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people who's literally waiting in line, filling out paperwork, putting money towards it.
It's not a cheap process.
Yeah, and you just get in for free. Yeah, it's disrespectful. And the fact that we're letting people skirt it like that, I mean, at this point, there's a lot of people who we're like giving a big bill to who we should give a 50% off. Like, I ain't gonna lie, look, we was gonna charge you this much, but due to us letting all these people in, I think we got you for the 50% off on this one. Because there ain't no way.
Nah, it's
Right. I had a friend.
Go ahead.
I had a friend in college years ago, back in 2015. A guy paid her to marry her so that he could get citizenship.
Wow. That too.
They,
That happens
yeah, they
so
was
much.
supposed to do a baby and everything.
And my man should get 50% off on that.
Nah, that's so crazy. That happens more than you would think, but like I said, there got to be some type of deterrent we put in place to stop people from doing that, or people are just gonna keep running rampant, and we're gonna continue to have this problem. But now we appreciate you, Jazz. That's a good take. Continue to be safe out there. We'll probably pull you back up sometime later on in the stream. We're gonna get through this video,
All
but
right,
appreciate you
guys.
calling in. No, thank you, Jazz. Appreciate it.
Be safe out there, sis. And all right, man, let's get back to it. And don't worry, Mike G, we see you in there, though. We're going to bring you up next. All right, let's go. And shout out Jazz.
Be safe out there, Jazz.
Righty. No, that was actually a good one. I actually
Yeah.
I do
In Diego, California. Listen,
Yes.
they're still counting the votes.
I like talking to y'all, man.
This
Got
is
some real informed
almost
take.
4 weeks.
That was the first time I heard
They're
that.
still counting the votes. If we don't have fair elections and honest voting and machines that work quickly, if you had paper ballots, every election will be over by 10 o'clock in the evening.
So let me ask you.
You understand what I'm saying?
Let me, before we get
And
to,
you get a much more accurate count.
before we get to all of that, let me ask you about some of your other promises on this topic. You've
Okay.
promised to end birthright citizenship
Yeah.
on day one. Is that still your plan?
Yeah, absolutely.
The 14th Amendment, though, says that, quote, all persons born in the United States are citizens. Can you get around the 14th Amendment with an
Well, we're going to
executive
have to get a
action?
change. We'll maybe have to go back to the people, but we have to end it. We're the only country that has it.
Through an executive action?
You know,
You're
we're
gonna
the only country that has it. Do you know, if somebody sets a foot, just a foot, 1 foot, you don't need to, on our land, congratulations, you are now a citizen of the United States of America. Yes, we're going to end that because it's ridiculous.
Through executive
know,
action?
Well, if we can, through executive action. I was going to do it through executive action, but then we had to fix COVID first, to be honest with you.
Yo, we got 300 plus of y'all in here, man. If you could just go ahead and double tap that screen and like the video, hit the 3 dots up there. Let's get more people in on the conversation. We appreciate the support. And any question or comments you want to super chat in, just go ahead and send in $1 plus. We'll go ahead and read it out loud to the chat. Jokes are included. I love a good joke.
We have to end it. It's ridiculous. Do you know we're the only country in the world that has it? Do you know that? There's
Well,
not one other country.
What about the legal
Do you know
challenge,
we're
inevitable
also-
legal
well, that's the other
challenges
thing.
that'll
Do you know
come?
we have thousands of judges? Somebody walks onto our land, and we have to now say, "Welcome to the United States." They could be a criminal or not a criminal. We release them into our country. It's called catch and release. We release them into our country. Wait, just 1 second. And now they get them lawyers. And the lawyers are good lawyers.
And shout out Ray, 5 more bucks. We appreciate the support. Keep families together, teaches future migrants, there's no exceptions, and teaches the kids honest and legal migration would have protected them. Yeah, facts. I mean, like I said, when you take such a hardline stance, I mean, I wouldn't even really call it controversial. It's just a non-wavering stance. I understand that people are gonna, be divided on this issue, but it is kind of one of those things. If you have this inclination that people are supposed to, or that we're supposed to keep the families together. There's only one way to do that. You either let them all stay or you send them all back.
Yeah. It's either or. And I do feel it. It's like, yeah, we do got to have a stern example. So when they think about, oh, hey, let's run away to America, it's like, nah, well, not only are they going to send us back, dog, but we might go to jail for it. We're going to be in a detention hall for the whole time.
And Ray makes a great point. When that family gets sent back, that migrating family gets sent back to their home country or village, and they got that story of, yeah, we tried it and they sent us back. Bro, they just deterred everybody else in their village from trying it.
Oh God,
like
hey,
we just fix it right there. When by example,
we try to cross that border and they sent us back. America's no longer green light.
Like, what do you mean? You spent $10K, you risked your life, you know, you uprooted your whole life here. You thought you were going to, and they sent us back.
And they sent us right back, bro. But you paid the transport, you paid the cartel, and they sent us right back.
Nobody else is gonna try it after that, I guarantee you.
Yeah. God forbid they green light the cartel as a terrorist organization. Then it's really a wrap. All right, let's keep going.
And everybody has a lawyer. And you know how many judges we have? Thousands. Now, here's what other countries do. They come into the land and they say, I'm sorry, you have to go. And they take them out. Okay. With us, once they touch our land, we're into litigation that lasts for years, costs us hundreds of billions of dollars. We have judges, and I'm sure they're all honest, but I don't know that for a fact. You can imagine what's going on with the judges. But just so you, because I have a lot of judges. I tell you what, I know more about judges than any human being in history. Look, we have judges. Every time somebody puts 2 feet or even 1 foot on a piece of our land, it's welcome to long-term litigation. Other countries, every other country, when somebody walks on and they see that they're here illegally, they walk them off, they take them back to where they came from. We have to get rid of this system. It's killing our country.
Bro, you got some country with firing squads on their border. Like, they don't play that. Any incoming intruders, bro, are met with harsh penalties.
Bro, I remember Poland's border. Their example, I remember we showed it on here, but they had them boys at the fence poking their ass with sticks, throwing goddamn tear gas over there, and he didn't keep them off their border.
You got countries half the size of ours, half the border size of ours, who are 10 times as more harsh on their border, 10 times as more stringent. And we got the #1 largest country in the world as far as how many people try and cross over our border, and we don't police it half as hard as some of these other countries.
Like, crazy as hell. I swear to God, try that shit in one of the other superpowers like China, Russia, Japan. Dog, you try to cross in there without letting them know, you will die.
And they're not hearing no politics. They're not hearing none of that. Oh, this is inhumane. They're not playing that on their border.
On
Point blank, period.
They're not saying, oh, you need to be all inclusive. Like, and they would look at you to who?
Not to these.
Like, I'm inclusive to my own people. I don't know about you.
Let's talk about healthcare. I've been talking to Republican lawmakers on Capitol Hill. They say it's no longer feasible to repeal and replace Obamacare because it's so entrenched in the system. Do you see it that way? Is that now off the table, repealing and replacing?
When John McCain let us down by voting, and Murkowski and Collins and whoever it was that voted against, but they really let us down. They did us a great disservice because we would have had great health. Obamacare is lousy health care. It's very expensive health care for the people. It's also expensive for the country, but for the people, it's lousy health care. When John McCain gave his thumbs down after saying for 10 years that he wants to repeal and replace, okay? And then he came out, put his now famous thumbs down, and he became a hero to the left. Let me tell you, if we find something better, I would love to do it. But one thing I have to say, I inherited Obamacare.
And I love his stance on this. Before he even finished, I love his stance on it. And it's been like that. He said the same thing debate night. Like, look, Obamacare doesn't work for the consumer or the insurance companies. It's expensive. It's lousy. It doesn't give you guys much choices. And it's overly expensive for the insurance companies. They don't like it either. But I'm going to leave it intact until I find something better to replace it with. I understand that if I took it away now, it's going to leave a lot of Americans without access to healthcare.
And he took the mandate off it. But first of all, how the hell you come up with a healthcare plan that F's both sides? Like, the seller and the consumer get screwed over. How you do that, Obama? How that work?
A little foresight.
But then again, though, it does seem like every time, like, you know, these Dems do something like, oh no, the Inflation Reduction Act. And what happened? It was supposed to be reduction, but it skyrocketed. It's kind of crazy how they do that.
Anything else you want to go? This guy got 20 names, but I inherited it. And I had a decision to make with Health and Human Services. I had a big decision to make. Do I make it as good as we can make it, or do I let it rot? And a lot of political people said, let it rot and let it be a failure. I said, that's not the right thing to do. And I had very good people in the medical area.
And guys, do us a favor, go ahead and support the stream, like the video. It is our call-in show as well. So if you want to talk to Set and Key, speak on the topic at hand, bring something up, go ahead and super chat in $5 or more. We'll be happy to host your call. Anything else, thoughts, questions, comments, anything you want to get off your chest, $1 or more, we'll bring it up on screen, give you a shout out. Go ahead and engage with it. But for everyone else, man, go ahead and like the video. It is free. Double tap the screen or hit the 3 buttons right above my partner's head right there. Show some support to your boys, man. Hour strong. We really just kicking this thing off, man. Let's have a good night tonight. Let's get some more people in on the conversation and keep this thing going.
Let's go.
That handled that. And I said, what do you want to do? He said, we really have an obligation to make it as good as we can. And we did. We made it as good as we can make it. Instead of making it bad where everybody would be calling for its repeal, I made it so that it works. Now,
But you
it
did
works.
try to overturn it,
It's
sir.
it's
You did
lousy.
try to overturn it. You
No,
did
no.
have your Justice Department try to direct the Supreme Court to.
No, we got a little bit of a surprising opinion, to be honest with you. If it would have been overturned, we would have had much better health care right now. But right now, we have something that I made the best of. I could have made the worst of it, and it would have fallen by the wayside. I did the right thing from a human standpoint. But, you know, I'm sort of proud of my decision. At the same time, sometimes I regret it. I told the people, and I gave them the money to do it. I said, fix it, make it work, because people would have suffered. But it's too bad that they voted no. I wish John McCain, I wish he fought for 10 years on replacing Obamacare for 10 years, and then he voted against. Nobody understands it.
Sir, you said during the campaign you had concepts of a plan. Do you have an?
All right. And shout out Ray. And they, Obama, Biden, Harris, had to violate the Hatch Act to even get it to work. Well, I'm sorry, to get it to work, stay affordable. So it doesn't even work without a financial scheme. Ooh. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, damn. Shout out Ray. I mean, hey, she be coming down with the knowledge. I love it. I love it. Because that is true, though. They did have to violate.
Oh, yeah, I have
things.
heard, like, kind of really look at how Obamacare works. It is something almost like a pyramid scheme.
Yeah. Like, it only works for those, you know, who's really at the top. But then, you know, they say that, oh, they're not for the donors. But then why'd you make something that only helped out those at the top and kind of screwed everybody in between?
Yeah.
An actual plan at this point for healthcare?
Yes, we have concepts of a plan that would be better.
Still
But-
just concepts?
but-
Do you have a fully developed plan?
Let me explain. We have the biggest
They don't went too
healthcare
far with that
companies
shit.
looking
I'm sorry.
at it. We
Like,
have doctors. We're always looking.
that's the biggest running joke. They didn't went too far with that. Like, oh, concepts of a plan, concepts of a plan. They almost trolling this man with it at this point. Like, look, I said it on debate night because she's been known to hijack policy.
Oh, God.
Like, they even had a running joke. Like, I'm sorry, JD Vance had made, like, sir, I'm convinced she's going to show up at her next rally with a MAGA hat because she's stealing my policy. She's stealing yours. It's damn near sounding like she's Agenda 47 at this point.
Or when Trump trolled her at the dinner when she said, you know, Kamala has a concept of a plan on how to fix health. Bro, it was just like, oh, we get it. Oh, Trump only has a concept of a plan. Yes, a concept that you will soon live under.
So why would I just expose my whole plan debate night when all her advisors were doing behind the curtain was just writing down everything I'm saying anyway, guys?
And I always just stood on the argument. I'm like, well, he's not in office, so everything is only but a concept.
No, facts. But it's like they damn near trolling him with it at this point. You still have a concept? Like, come on, bro.
I'm like, you're damn right I do.
looking because Obamacare stinks. It's lousy. There are better answers. If we come up with a better answer, I would present that answer to Democrats and to everybody else, and I do something about it. But until we have that, or until they can approve it, but we're not going to go through the big deal. I am the one that saved Obamacare, I will say, and I did the right thing. I could have done the more political thing and killed it. And all I had to do is starve it to death.
You did try to have your Justice Department effectively kill it, though,
No.
sir.
Kill it from a legal standpoint, but from a physical standpoint, I made it work.
In your concepts of a plan, sir, Will people with pre-existing conditions still have
Feels
coverage?
illegal for him.
And can you guarantee their prices will not go
The
up?
answer is yes. They'll have coverage. You have to have it.
And what about their
Because
prices?
you know what?
What about their prices, sir?
I want the prices to go down. I want to have better health care for less money. And there are ways of doing it, I believe. And I have the smartest people in that world. You know, that's a separate world unto itself. I have the smartest people in that world looking at it and trying. And if they come up with something, I will present it. Now, maybe you won't be able to.
And I love that about Trump. As much as people want to make it seem like he's a narcissist, he's a know-it-all, like this guy is high in his own supply, right? That's what a lot of people try and say about him. He knows when he's outside his wheelhouse, and that's why I can only commend the cabinet picks, because Trump understands that. He understands the concept of a mastermind. He understands that you can't get shit done by yourself out here. I got my expertise. I've done and I've got my accolades, I got my achievements, but there's things that I'm no expert on, and I'm going to bring people in who are experts on, and they're going to serve under me, under my team, under my leadership, my coaching, and we're going to present you guys the best policy, a best agenda. We're going to try and improve the country. But yeah, it takes a humble man to be like, look, I know a lot, but I don't know shit about that right there. But I got an expert for you who does.
Sell it. But if we get better health care for less money, I believe it's very saleable.
Just very quickly, when will we see your fully developed plan? When are you going to show
I don't know
the
that you'll
public
see it at all. I can only say that we have some of the best healthcare people. I've always tinkered with it. I think it's a little hard to explain. Obamacare, when I took it over, was a disaster. And I made it
has insured
workable.
20 million people.
Yeah, because of me. Because of me. If you look at
Yeah, that's what I'm
Hey,
saying.
shut up.
Like once he took the mandate off it was able to insure a lot more people. Yes. Once he took the mandate off it, which I don't know why you're a so-called, I don't know, constitution. We're in a constitutional republic, right?
Yes.
And you're out here having mandates.
Mm.
Like there should be no mandate on anything. If we're a constitutional republic, if we're all about freedom, you shouldn't be able to mandate us to do a damn thing. But you see what some of these Democratic officials have been getting off.
what I did, I was the one. I made it good.
You
Yeah,
tried to
legally.
repeal and replace. You tried
Because
to kill
if I
it,
repealed
sir.
it and replaced it, we would have had a better system, because we wouldn't have had health care. And the Democrats would have been forced to do something. If we wouldn't have had it, the Democrats would have been forced to do something that they wouldn't do if we have it.
Let me ask you about another aspect of healthcare. You talked about this on the campaign trail,
Right.
IVF. You promised free IVF for all who want it, either through the government or through mandates with insurance companies. I've been hearing from Republican senators, some of them, who say they're not going to support that plan. How are you going to get that passed?
Well, we're going to see. We want them to pay, ideally the insurance companies to pay for it, the fertilization. I came out very early for a Republican especially, and I think they were looking.
And real quick pause for the cause, because we got over 300 of you guys in here. We appreciate the support. I see some people having some good conversation in the chat, man. If you guys don't agree, if you guys want to debate a topic or a point, go ahead and come to the front of the chat, super chat in $1 or more. We'll pull your point across the screen, post it at the top. We'll interact with it. We appreciate the support either way. Call in show as well. All we ask is you super chat in $5 or more. We'd be happy to host your call.
So you might even get us to pull up a video on the point. You never know, depending on how banging your point is, or if you actually have a point at all, or if you just have TDS. Either way, go ahead and send $1 plus. We'll go ahead and read it out.
And in the sake of the call-in show, quick interlude for the supporters. We got Mike G and we got Steph in here. What's going on, guys?
Hey.
Hey.
How y'all doing tonight?
How y'all doing tonight?
Oh man, we cooking up on there here, Mike. You know what's up, man. Trump interview fresh off the presses, man. He gave us an hour of good content right here, so we're gonna break everything down, bro. But shit, we chilling, man. Another cold night in Columbus, bro. How you doing out there, Mike?
Man, just chilling in old dusty Wisconsin, man. Same old, different day. That's about it.
Yes, sir. What about you, Steph? How you doing? Good to see you, girl.
I'm all right. Just getting prepared for the surgery tomorrow.
Thoughts and prayers going with you. It's gonna go well, Steph. Keep your spirits up.
Everything's all good.
We always.
I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not my first rodeo. I mean, this will be, I want to say, my 8th or 9th surgery.
Yeah.
So this is not my first rodeo, but it gets tiring. Let's put it that way. I'm used to it, but it just gets tiring.
I will tell
Just
you
gets
one
like,
thing.
okay.
I will tell you one thing. You're definitely tough. Probably tougher than you even give yourself credit for. But
Right.
did you guys have anything you wanted to input on that, like some of the deportations when it comes to the families, or the topic at hand here when it comes to I'm sorry, what was it Trump just said? The last thing Trump had said before we switched over.
Let's see. What Trump was talking about was, I believe. Hold on here, because
Well, I actually just got on, so I missed a lot of the video.
Oh, it was his cabinet picks. It was
Yeah.
his cabinet picks, I believe. So yeah, did you guys have anything you wanted to input on?
No, it was Obamacare. Obamacare. I'm sorry, it was Obamacare.
Okay.
Now, because I know Seth, you have a lot. I know you have a lot of insight when it comes to insurance. So, were you even on Obamacare? Using Obamacare around that time, Mike G? What about you? Have you ever had to hop on Obamacare?
No,
Ladies first. Go ahead, Steph.
Oh, she said.
I say no because I've been on Medicaid ever since I was 16 because I had to go on SSI very early because of my health conditions. Unable to work and everything like that. Trust me, I would love to work with animals and everything like that, but until things get taken care of, their doctors are like, yeah, no, you're not suitable enough to go out in the workforce. But no, to answer your question, no, I have not been on Obamacare, no.
All right.
Okay.
What
What
about
about you, Mike?
No, I've never been on no form of Obamacare. Every insurance I've had is mostly through a job. I've never had to, do any of that. I feel like Obamacare was pretty much a scandal at the end of the day. Pretty much it it was for, to me, people that abused the system, uh some that needed it, but to me it was more of a percentage wise, I think it was more of a taxation on a lot of the doctors, a lot of the people that are trying to get insurance. I have personally had to refuse insurance at multiple jobs in the past because it was just too expensive,
Right.
due to Obamacare.
And that's
And
kind of what
True.
I heard about Obamacare, because at the time of it being implemented, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, me and Seth were like in middle school
on
and
God,
stuff.
like I just remember my mom complaining about it.
But yeah, that was the complaint, is that it
Yeah.
kind of cut you off from certain options. It cornered you into options for real. It didn't
exactly.
work out for consumers or insurance companies. And low key, it was cheap for others, but expensive for other folks. It didn't really do what it was intended to do.
Yeah, it did not appease for the working class. It was more for, just to be real. I mean, to me,
Non-workers, the people lazing around, the people who were already on government assistance, the people who wasn't getting
exactly.
But the
Yeah, and that
Dems
brings me
love
to
those.
that. Oh, go ahead, you guys. I
Oh,
don't even
no.
want
We were
to.
just saying that the Dems do love the people who look for free handouts. That's all.
Yeah,
But real quick, guys, before we continue on with the video, did you guys have anything you wanted to add about deporting families? Do y'all think that we should keep everybody keep everybody together, or let the kids stay and deport? I'm sorry, like the head of the household.
I personally, like I've said before, I believe when I first did my first call in, I believe they've been abusing the system, illegal immigrants, since the 80s, since the 70s, late 70s, 80s, all that. It just came in slowly, cautious, like, appeased to whoever they were working for. And then at the end of the day, I think they just got a little too comfortable, a little too brazen, showing out, etc. I mean, I'm just saying the real deal, what I've seen in multiple jobs, how people conduct themselves. All I see is people box in the corner, speaking Spanish, don't want to learn English, like you refuse to learn English. That just seemed like the attitude I've always caught on to, is you just refuse to accept the customs of the country that you choose to stay, even though you're here illegally. And that
Nah, I
just
get
doesn't
it.
make
Join
sense
our
to me.
That's
occupied
true.
workforce.
So your stance is probably your stance is probably send the parents back with the kids then, huh?
Send parents back with the kids, exactly. Just like Holden
I get
said,
it.
because yeah, I mean, I don't want kids get separated. I understand all that, but to me
You got to make a
personally,
place.
being where I'm from Illinois before, if I moved to Wisconsin, to just come off a little too cocky.
Nah, I
I don't
get
know
it.
about other areas, but where I'm from, it just seemed a little too cocky.
Nah, I get it for sure. What about you, Steph? Real quick, what about you? You think we should deport families or keep the kid, send the house head of the household back? What's your stance?
Well, I'm on the same page as I'm on the same page as Mike on that one. Um, but like I said, I didn't see the beginning of the video because I literally just popped in not that long ago. But I do wanna shout out to something to you guys. To get I know this is off topic, but on Friday, how JD Vance went to North Carolina.
Okay.
Mm. All right.
JD Vance not only went to North Carolina, but even this one guy, he got a call from JD Vance and talked to him for a half an hour. Literally, JD Vance literally called him himself, and yeah, so JD Vance is working on trying to even help the North Carolina even more now.
Oh,
Um,
shout out. You probably referencing hurricane victims, but yeah, no,
yes.
thanks for bringing that to our attention. I had no idea. That might be something we bring up later on the stream. But since you said you hadn't even seen the video, we'll get back to the video. We appreciate y'all's input. We'll bring you guys back up later in the stream. Let's get back to it though, guys. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate y'all, man. Let's keep it going. Let's go ahead and read out some of the super chats real quick. Because shout out Ray. I had Obamacare covered zilch. And Johnny. Huh? Well, Johnny, what you talking about, Johnny?
Right.
And Noble Bear, send him home.
He said,
I
together.
I like your attitude.
On the same ship on the same boat.
Looking for my guidance, my great wisdom, right? They were looking for it. And I got a call from Katie Britt, who's a terrific person, senator from Alabama. And she said, sir, we just had a really negative ruling from a judge in Alabama, conservative judge, that all of these clinics had to be closed. And she said, and she went into great detail, and she said people are dead.
And I'll just be buck. I see some people hating in the comments, bro. If you feel like we clowns, if you feel like we goofy, go ahead and put your money where your mouth is. Super chat in $1 or more so we can debate a point. Or if you really feeling ballsy, go ahead and super chat in $5 or you kicked them. Oh, okay. Well, if you're really feeling ballsy, super chat in $5 or more. We can go ahead and hop on a call. And yeah, put your money where your mouth is if you feel like we clowns or goofies or we ain't got nothing to say.
Devastated over it. And after literally speaking to her for 5 minutes, I issued an order, really an order in a sense. And it was a statement from the Republican Party that we are all for IVF and fertilization. Okay. The Alabama legislature met the following day and passed it. It was a beautiful thing to see. And I consider myself to be the father of IVF in a certain way. And the Republicans were very strong on the issue.
But, sir, I want to understand where it falls in your list of priorities. I mean, is this something we can expect to see you try to move on in the first 100 days?
We're going to be talking about it, and we're going to be seeing. We have a lot of other things. I have tax cuts.
Yep.
We'll be submitting in either the first or second package to Congress the extension of the tax cuts. So that might very well be in there, or it'll come sometime after that.
Let's talk about abortion, sir. You have taken responsibility for overturning Roe v. Wade. You've said that abortion is now a state issue. There are steps that you could take, though, as president to restrict abortion through executive action without Congress. More than half of abortions in this country are medication abortions. Will you restrict the availability of abortion pills when you're in office?
I'll probably stay with exactly what I've been saying for the last 2 years. And the answer is no.
You commit to that?
Well, I commit. I mean, do things change? I think they change. I hate to go on shows like Joe Biden. I'm not going to give my son a pardon. I will not, under any circumstances, give him a pardon. I watched this, and I always knew he was going to give him a pardon. And I don't like putting myself in a position like that. So things do change, but I don't think it's going to change at all.
Okay. Let's talk about some of your picks to fill out your administration. You named Kash Patel to be the next FBI director. He has a list in his book of 60 people that he calls members of the so-called deep state. It includes Democrats like Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton. It includes former members of your cabinet, from Bill Barr to Christopher Wray. You campaigned on destroying the deep state. Do you want Kash Patel to launch investigations into people on that list?
No, I mean, he's going to do what he thinks is right.
Do you
And I
think
will-
that's
I will
right?
tell you-
Do you think that's right, sir?
If they think that somebody was dishonest or crooked or a corrupt politician, I think he probably has an obligation to do it. But
Are you going to direct him to do it?
no, not at all. Not at all. We have two great people there. We have him and we have Pam.
All right, dog.
See, we want them to pay, ideally the insurance companies to pay for it, the fertilization. I came out very early for a Republican, especially, and I think they were looking for my guidance, my great wisdom, right?
Okay.
They were looking for it. And I got a call from Katie Britt, who's a terrific person, senator from Alabama. And she said, sir, we just had a really negative ruling from a judge in Alabama, conservative judge, that all of these clinics had to be closed. And she said, and she went into great detail, and she said people are devastated over it. And after literally speaking to her for 5 minutes, I issued an order, really an order in a sense. And it was a statement from the Republican Party that we are all for IVF and fertilization. Okay. The Alabama legislature met the following day and passed it. It was a beautiful thing to see. And I consider myself to be the father of IVF in a certain way. And the Republicans were very strong on the issue.
But, sir, I want to understand where it falls in your list of priorities. I mean, is this something we can expect to see you try to move on in the first 100 days?
We're going to be talking about it, and we're going to be seeing. We have a lot of other things. I have tax cuts. You know, we'll be submitting in either the first or second package to Congress the extension of the tax cuts. So that might very well be in there, or it'll come sometime after that.
Let's talk about abortion, sir. You have taken responsibility for overturning Roe v. Wade. You've said that abortion is now a state issue. There are steps that you could take, though, as president to restrict abortion through executive action without Congress. More than half of abortions in this country are medication abortions. Will you restrict the availability?
Before I even let her finish, that was never his stance. He never said that while he was campaigning. He said, I'm going to leave it up to the states. I'm going to keep it hands off. I'm not going to put the federal government in position to make a general consensus about that. So for her to even come off the hip with this question is propaganda. It's still trying to paint this man as somebody who's trying to restrict female rights or female body autonomy. He's never said anything like that, guys.
Yeah, like your beef is not with Trump, it's with your state. It's with the people in your state. The people in your state decided on these abortion laws.
So y'all need to be writing y'all's lawmakers, showing up at, council meetings, or anytime you could speak to y'all's lawmakers, y'all should be letting y'all voices be heard, because your beef ain't with Trump, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Like, and if you confusing it being with Trump, then you're tripping, because if it's left to the states, and that means it's your governor or your city councilman, not Trump.
But guys, we got over almost 300 of you guys in here, man. We're having a good stream so far, man. It's been good over here on our end. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Super chat in 5 or more. We'll host your call. It is a call-in show. Call in Sunday. Anything over $1, thoughts, questions, comments, anything you want to get off your chest. If you got a point you want to debate, I see some people in the chat disagreeing with us, man. Step to the front of the chat. Go ahead and let your voice be heard. We'll put your opinion up top of the screen. We'll debate it live on air. Like the stream. If not, double tap the screen. 3 buttons ahead of my partner's head right there. Let's keep this thing going, guys.
Let's go.
Of abortion pills when you're in office?
I'll probably stay with exactly what I've been saying for the last 2 years, and the answer is no.
You commit to that?
Well, I commit. I mean, do things change? I think they change.
Yeah.
I hate to go on shows like Joe Biden. I'm not going to give my son a pardon. I will not, under any circumstances, give him a pardon. I watched this, and I always knew he was going to give him a pardon, and so I don't like putting myself in a position like.
And this is what people kind of mean when they say your local elections are more important than the federal one.
Yeah, because I think
when you're voting for sheriff, when you're voting for governor, Supreme Court, all that good stuff.
I'm telling you, because like the governor has more to do with what's going on around you than the president, believe it or not.
Fact.
Like your mayor has more to do than what's going on around you than your governor, believe it or not. So it does get closer and closer. There are officials who actually control what's going on around you as you get closer and closer into his politics.
Think about it. They control the city tax, the school district tax, your state tax.
They control how much money goes into the roads, the schools, like charity events, like all that good stuff, for national parks and all that. So at this point, if you're not liking what you're seeing, it's damn near your community's fault. Not you, but the community. All right, let's go.
Like that. So things do change, but I don't think it's going to change at all.
Okay. Let's talk about some of your picks to fill out your administration. You named Kash Patel to be the next FBI director.
Yeah.
He has a list in his book of 60 people that he calls members of the so-called deep state. It includes Democrats like Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton. It includes former members of your cabinet, from Bill Barr to Christopher Wray. You campaigned on destroying the deep state. Do you want Kash Patel to launch investigations into people on that list?
No, I mean, he's going to do what he thinks is right.
Do you think that's right? Do you think that's right, sir?
If they think that somebody was dishonest or crooked or a corrupt politician, I think he probably has an obligation to do it. But
are you going to direct him to do it?
No, not at all. Not at all. We have two great people there. We have him and we have Pam. And Pam Bondi has been like a rocket ship. She's very popular and very good and very fair. And Kash Patel is very fair. I'll tell you, I thought Kash may be difficult because he's, a strong conservative voice. And I don't know of anybody that's not singing his praises. The other day I was watching, and Trey Gowdy, who's a moderate person and very smart and very respected in the party, he's Kash's biggest fan. He said, this is the most misunderstood man in politics.
Wait until, and shout out Jazz Work from Home, $5. Wait until people learn about the real reason why they create Wade versus Roe. Had nothing to do with the reasons they stated. Lady came clean about it.
It always do start off on some type of essay case, don't it? But then again, though, the whole thing is, you know what? Maybe we should do a deeper dive into Roe v. Wade so people can actually understand this.
Eugenics?
Yeah, eugenics, but then, eugenics mostly. And, kind of leads into the whole transgenderism as well. All created by who? Liberal white women.
God damn it.
So,
the death of us.
Oh God, it's always the liberal white women for some reason that's behind some of the most gruesome things. I ain't even gonna lie.
Karen has been a thing for the better part of 100 years, y'all.
But then again, it is
Karen, old school Karen,
man. But then again, it's like the Democratic Party is led by a group of I'm gonna be real with you, irresponsible women.
Yeah, that too. I see somebody who just said it in the chat. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It's not YouTube safe to say, but hey. You're not lying. You ain't wrong when you're right. I'm telling you.
It's great. I guess they worked together on the Russia hoax or something. And Trey Gowdy became a fan. Trey Gowdy. Everybody respects him. And,
bro,
just like him, others also. I don't know of one negative vote. I don't think he's going to have any negative votes.
Is it your expectation, though, that Kash Patel will pursue investigations against your political enemies?
No, I don't think so.
Do you want to see that happen?
If they were crooked, if they did something wrong, if they have broken the law, probably they went after me. They went after me and I did nothing wrong.
Well, let me ask you this. You said President Biden, quote, that you're going to appoint a real special prosecutor to go after Joe Biden. You said that
Where
during
did I say that?
the campaign.
Where?
You said that on Truth Social, June 12th, 2023. I will appoint a real special prosecutor to go after the most corrupt president in the history of the United States, Joe Biden, and the entire
that
Biden
part is
crime
true.
family. Are you going to do that? Are you going to go after Joe Biden?
I'm really looking to make our country successful. I'm not looking to go back into the past. I'm looking to make our country successful. Retribution will be through success. If we can make our this country successful, that would be my greatest. That would be such a great achievement.
And shout out Mike G. He says suburban Caucasian are the new Democratic Party. I'm weak. All right. Nah, that's facts. And shout out Jazz for the way you was writing down Roe v. Wade. I was like, you Southern as hell for that one. I like it. All right, man, let's keep it going. Shout out Mike G and shout out Jazz. Appreciate the support, guys. And like I said, any questions, comments, or jokes you guys want to send in and have read out loud, go ahead and send in a $1+ super chat, and it helps us reach our goal of 50 super chats for the stream. And we appreciate the support, guys. Let's go.
Bring it back. We have a country now that's overridden with crime, that has millions of people that shouldn't be.
And real quick, actually, to that point, the same suburban Caucasians that make up a good majority of the Democratic Party, the newfound Democratic Party, are the same ones that shame my black ass for looking at the conservative side. Like, oh, don't you know they hate you? Like, wait a minute, like, hold on a second. Oh, don't you know you're supposed to vote blue? Like, says who? Like, and I always say there's like some underlying, some covert racism in a lot of these people that they don't even know about. It's like internalized racism. They think I'm supposed to vote blue just because I'm black, not realizing that I have my own free mind and I can make my own decision based off of whose politics I align with. But as soon as I go and look at the conservative side, even if I entertain it, even if I say I'm a Democrat, I just like the conservative side this year,
Bro,
they're still saying some racist shit.
they had white people telling black Trump supporters that, oh, you're not really black. I know real black people. They vote for Kamala. I'm like,
what?
bro, you hear yourself?
Like I said, being black isn't a monolith. I don't have to vote Democrat to be black, to be a part of the culture. You got me fucked up with that shit.
Be here that should be in prisons in other countries, that should be in mental institutions. We have drug lords being dropped into our country and told never go back to their country. I'm looking to make our country great. I'm looking to bring prices down because, you know, I won on two things, the border and more than immigration. You know, they like to say immigration. I break it down more to the border, but I won on the border and I won on groceries. It's a very simple word, groceries. Like almost, you know, who uses the word? I started using the word, the groceries. When you buy apples, when you buy bacon, when you buy eggs, they would double and triple the price over a short period of time. And I won an election based on that. We're going to bring those prices way down.
I want to pause here because what you're saying is significant. Because you wrote on Truth Social in 2023 that you're going to appoint a real special prosecutor to go after Joe Biden. Now you're saying you're not going to do that.
I will say this. No, I'm not doing that unless I find something that I think is reasonable. But that's not going to be my decision. That's going to be Pam Bondi's decision, and to a different extent, Kash Patel. Assuming they're both there, and I think they're both going to get approved. But you know, while you ask me that, what they've done to me with weaponization is a disgrace.
We'll get to some of that.
No,
sir.
wait. You can't do one without the other. In the history of our country, nothing like this has ever happened. And I've won these cases. I've won every one, and the rest are in the process of being won. Deranged Jack Smith is on his way back to The Hague, where he can execute people. This is where he should have stayed. I think he's dangerous even being there. But I'll tell you what they've done to me in terms of weaponization, indictments, impeachments, and everything else. And in the end, it probably helped me because I got the biggest vote, the most votes any Republican's ever gotten in history.
Pam Bondi talks about investigating the investigators. Do you want her to investigate Jack Smith?
I want her to do what she wants to do.
Do you want to see Jack Smith investigated?
Well, I think he's very corrupt, but I want her to do whatever she has
Are
to
you
do.
going to direct?
Which actually begs a good question. How should Trump go about this? Should he kind of go after the people who, you know, they say went after him? Should he leave it alone? What should he do? How should he kind of go about that?
Well, the way the Democrats kind of got it set up is they kind of got him right where they want him in this like case. If he does something, oh, he goes against his opponents. Oh, he goes for his opponents. And we can't tell the Democrat Party or the liberals that, yo, they went after him. They hit him with false charges because they're still in the illusion that these charges are valid. So I would literally say for Trump, we'd have to wait until all these charges go to appeal. They get all dropped before you can do anything. Because we have to first show the people that you're not no real felon, that you would put through a kangaroo court. Well, you have to prove that before you can go after anybody, or they will just say that you're going after your enemies. Oh, and you're a felon too, so why don't you go after yourself? Exactly.
That's a great point. And to continue this conversation, we got one of the supporters in the queue right here. Shout out Ray. Let's get Ray in here. We'd love to hear what you have to say on this topic, Ray.
Hey, all. It's so nice to be on. I get to talk to you guys through comments, and now I get to talk to you in person. It's great.
Sounds great. It's good to have you on call. I think this is my first time speaking to you. I don't know if Seth talked to you
no,
before.
first time in general.
Good to have you on, Ray.
Yeah, that's my first. That's
nice
awesome.
To speak with you. Nice to speak with you.
Man, you guys are. I have to say, it's since I've started watching you guys, it's been really cool to see just the kind of conversations that everybody's been having and the stuff that you guys are willing to like explore. It's freaking awesome. So this whole year has been a pipe dream, so to speak, for me, because the previous 4 years was just, it was daunting, it was depressing, it was, man, it just
Wasn't
looked
a lot of
down.
hope going around.
No, there wasn't. And as a Latina, I legitimately was like, where do I fit in this space? Because
Yeah,
I can't align myself with people like this interviewer in this interview. I know she's got her interests. I know that Big Pharma pays her bills. I get
of
it.
course.
But there's got to be some journalism integrity at some point, and I know a majority of the people in this comments probably agree with that. But you said it, you hit the nail on the head. We're not a monolith, you know, and we we really have to be able to get into the nuances. And I love that you guys, my comments probably sound a lot harsher, but I love that you guys are handling the topic of, like, should we separate the families? Like, you're acknowledging that it is a hard topic, because it
Very hard.
is. It's not an easy topic to talk about. Like, what do we do with the kids? Do we want them in a first world country? Well, this first world country still got problems, just like every other country does. It's just going to look different by way of whether or not there's stucco on the exterior wall or not. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
yeah, we got problems. And uh, on that point, you guys already saw my comments. Keep them together. And if Mexico really wants to keep letting thousands, hundreds of thousands of people to come in per month, then they can start paying for that per head. But as for the Obamacare, yeah, I had it. When I started, they had like a whole tier system, like, oh, you to make this much money. I was below poverty, by the way. You make this much money, then you can only have this deductible bracket. And I
Yeah,
couldn't
that's
pay
how
for
it
anything,
works.
y'all. I couldn't pay for nothing. It was horrendous. And trying to find a doctor, good luck.
Nah, yeah, that you just summed it up right there. And I mean, I got to give credit to you. Shout out to you. Actually, your comments, your super chats always stick out to me. Well informed individual, always succinctly put, always adds value or particular insight to the show. So I always appreciate your comments. I'm not gonna lie to you. First time speaking to you, but your comments always stick out to me. But you do make a good point in that. I mean, and that's kind of what we aim to bring with these streams is finding like-minded individuals. And it isn't even about necessarily agreeing on every topic, because
Yep.
if I went down the list of 10 things, we might agree on a few, even though we, are both supporters of Trump and have a
Yep.
lot of common interests. But it's just about finding a community where people are open to discussion, right? Exploring certain topics. It's refreshing. And I mean, it's something you can't really find everywhere on every social media platform and every Facebook group. But when you find your people, or when you find people who are like-minded, it is extremely refreshing. It's kind of like, okay, this is nice.
Absolutely. And that's why I love what you guys are doing, because you're actually pulling up the videos. And so, like, for instance, like this interview, like, you're seeing the double speak in real time. So it's kind of hard to just get a soundbite or a TikTok that's like 10 seconds and super
Mhm.
edited to where Trump looks like trash. And you're not realizing, like, this woman is so biased. Like, she's like, this last point that just came up. She's talking about, are you going to go after Biden? Are you going to go after Biden? It's like, well,
Right.
if he's corrupt, why wouldn't you want him to go after Biden? If
No, very
he's
good point.
why it's not about who Biden is or isn't, or who Trump is or isn't. Why wouldn't you want your government to hold people accountable that are corrupt? That's just how it should be.
And then, as I explained, it's just the whole unfairness of how everything's been laid out now. Because now, if Trump does anything to this
Yeah,
Yeah.
man,
they've cornered him.
yeah, it's seen as, oh, he's going after his political opponents. But I'm like, what were y'all doing? Oh, wait, it's okay because y'all was able to hit him with a charge and nobody was able to pardon Trump prematurely.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
they've
think
cornered him. So now if he does do it, he's gonna look like a bad guy. Like, oh, see, we kind of showed y'all Trump was gonna go after his political opponents.
Yep.
So he's kind of damned if he does, damned if he doesn't in this particular scenario. I say he just lets it be alone, because they're digging their own grave here. We seen what Biden just did. He pardoned his son. The situation is still fresh. I mean, we've known about the existence of the laptop son of rock star Biden's ways for years,
Yep.
but more of that stuff is going to come out, especially Hunter Biden's his position with Burisma over in Ukraine.
Oh, yep.
There's going to be a lot of stuff that comes out over the coming months, over the coming years, and it's just going to make them look that much worse. So I think Trump doesn't even really need to necessarily do anything. They're going to look bad if you just give the situation time.
And I guarantee we're gonna have that same, behind the scenes B-roll of the journalist on the panel being like, I've been sitting on this news for years and I haven't been able to report it. We're gonna have it. We all know it's gonna happen. I'm gonna laugh.
It always
Pardon
does.
my French. I'm gonna laugh my ass off. But I think what Trump is doing right now, how he's handling this conversation, is absolutely on point. I do think he made a little slip up in his verbiage in his initial answer the second time she asked, where he's like, yeah, I'll go after him if there's something to go after, even though he said he's going to delegate that to the two people, and I'm forgetting the names, ADHD. But
no, you're fine. That was a small gaffe. I did notice that as well. But in general, I just think Trump stands best if he just keeps his hands off of it. Everybody, even Democrats, are already kind of looking at Biden like, yo, what the F?
Honestly, I would just wait for Biden to hand out the pardons on, because let's be real, they're going off who they believe Trump's going to go after. Because remember what their premise was.
Yep.
Oh, well, we didn't want Hunter to be pretty much hunted.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of funny. So who you think that they're going to pardon next?
Yeah,
I said Anthony Fauci. I said what
Biden's brother.
There's other people that they're gonna kind of expose just off these pardons, and I kind of can't wait to see who's gonna come out with next.
And by exposing them, Biden's only exposing himself. Where's the collusion? Where's the connection? Like, if we follow the breadcrumbs, and they're bound to drop, we're gonna find out a lot of stuff. Like I said, just by keeping our hands on our ass, Trump doesn't necessarily need to do anything. They're exposing themselves.
Just like that guy Smith. If that guy Smith gets pardoned, I'm like, okay. If he gets pardoned and you guys can't sit there with full honesty and say, yeah, okay, that whole case was BS, then what? Because what other else would be reason to pardon that man?
I forget who the quote is from, who the quote is specifically, to credit, but never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's actually one of the 48 laws of power.
Robert Greene?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm sure I feel like it's been it's been reused by Napoleon or Tao, Tao and all these different things, but you never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. And I saw it this year during the election when Democrats were just really leaning in hard on more demoralizing and patronizing men. It's like, who do you think is going to show you can't? They are always making these mistakes where they think that their moralization platform is going to get them somewhere, and it's not. It just makes you look weak. It makes you look disorganized. And if you just let them keep doing their thing and you let them keep trying to play this wordsmithing and this double speak, there's a human nature aspect that humans can just instinctively, maybe they can't even put words to it, but they know when something's not right. It's like when people look at a mannequin and they get a little weirded out. They're like, it looks human, but it's not right,
And you make a great point in that their party is in turmoil right now. You see the infighting, you see the finger pointing, the name calling. Like I said, even supporters of Biden, people who defended Biden throughout his cognitive decline, people who were mad that he got pushed to the side for Kamala, he's doing stuff that they can't even defend at this point. So you make a great point in that. Nothing really needs to be done or said on our side. We just kind of wait and watch. A lot of things are going to be said. A lot of things are going to unfold. It's going to make them look even worse. It's going to show a lot of collusion and corruption, leading back all the way to the big guy. Who do you think the big guy is on this laptop, right? So we just got to wait and see, man. But we appreciate the call, Ray. Always good hearing from you. Extremely good talking to you over the phone. We appreciate the support. We're going to get back to this video. If you got some time, we'll probably pull you up later on stream. But yeah, extremely good talking to you.
Awesome. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you, Ray.
And that banger quote that Ray had, Napoleon Bonaparte. So yeah, it's the legendary Napoleon. That's where it came from.
Okay.
And it sounds like something that would come from a general, because who else but a general would sit there and watch somebody sink themselves?
Man, facts.
Let's go.
Great conversation.
No, hey man, shout
out Ray.
Oh yeah, make sure to double tap that screen, guys, to like the video.
Prosecute objection
and everything else. And in the end, it probably helped because they got the biggest vote, the most votes any Republicans ever gotten in history.
Pam Bondi talks about investigating the investigators. Do you want her to investigate Jack Smith?
I want her to do
Yes.
what she wants to
Do
do.
you want to see?
I like that. I like it. I like that answer. He's like, you want to investigate Jack Smith? Like, and this is the person. I'm like, bro, if Biden pardons Jack Smith, then we don't even need we don't need nothing else to know. Now we know that all them felonies against Trump should be called as invalid because a person who was playing hardball, I mean, actually no, who's being relentless towards getting these charges on him is being pardoned. For what, I wonder. Like, so yeah, and I do like how he's answering this question. Are you gonna go after Jack Smith? No, I'm gonna let my AG handle that. If my AG finds a case for Jack Smith, it'll be brought. If she doesn't, then okay.
And to that point, that was the small gaffe that Ray had mentioned, is that he was asked again and he kind of did slip up and say, well, yeah, if there's something there. But yeah, I like the position more so just letting his AG handle it. Trump doesn't need to necessarily say or do anything. The less he does, the worse they look. They came for him with all of this stuff that they're asking. Will you return the favor? Will you go back at him the same way? Like, nah, I'll let it play out. They're making themselves look bad right now. I've already won. What do I really need to do?
Man.
Cross my hands, kick my feet up. It didn't work.